I'm Anthony Beckman. I'm the winemaker at Balletto Vineyards. I just finished my 16th harvest working with John and Terry Balletto, and I have a passion for Pinot. The most incredible aspect of making Pinot Noir is that small changes in climate, in soils, in how the light hits the field in terms of aspect of slope, changes Pinot Noir drastically. So really, you have this opportunity to capture from the land very small changes that equate to huge changes in the glass. And that for me is what makes Pinot Noir so captivating, so challenging, and so rewarding. Balletto Vineyards is really this incredible collection of 22 different vineyards all throughout the Russian River Valley and the Sonoma Coast. And for me, as a winemaker, I'm only choosing the top less than 10% of the land to make wine from. So I always consider myself the kid in the candy shop, and I get first pick and I say, this is the perfect spot for Pinot, this is the perfect spot to do it. And I will then have complete control of that from pruning through leafing into harvesting, bottling, the whole process. And so Balletto Vineyards is one of the few estate grown and estate bottled wineries where 100% of what we do comes from vineyards we own and control and farm every day. And of those vineyards, I'm only taking really the cream of the crop to make the wine for the Balletto label. The remaining grapes, about 94% of the grapes that John Balletto farms get sold to other people. So you've had a lot of Balletto wine in your life, it just hasn't been under the Balletto label. Pinot Noir on its own can make a wide variety of wines. For instance, for a finished wine, I make 9 different Pinot Noirs, 7 single vineyards, and then a Sonoma Coast blend and a Russian River Valley blend. And to me, they're all different and they all speak to their own story. And that's really what this grape does. It expresses itself in this amazing way. In addition to that, I'll use it for sparkling wine. So I have a Brut Rosé, and I'm putting that 5 years in the bottle post-tirage before disgorging. It's a gorgeous wine, which is this light hue, very, very pretty. And then a Rosé Pinot Noir that I do every year, and for us has become one of our main sellers. And again, this is Pinot Noir that I'm harvesting as whole cluster. I found this vineyard that I made wine from in 2010, and it made the worst finished Pinot I'd ever tasted. And I taste it and I go, this is great, because it's exactly what I need for the Rosé Pinot Noir. So ever since 2010, I've been taking this 7 acres of Pinot and doing just Rosé Pinot Noir out of this 7 acres. I took a really twisted path to winemaking. I started off as a newspaper journalist. I was a daily correspondent in Washington, D.C. and in Philadelphia, and sort of gave up as newsprint started to decline. I sort of saw the writing on the wall early, and I quit. I just one day up and decided that I no longer wanted to be a newspaper writer, which was really hard at the time, but turns out now in retrospect to be one of the greatest life-changing decisions I ever made. And so I worked as a wine buyer in a market in Sacramento, and then put myself through junior college and took all the classes that I had to, transferred into Davis. I'd get done with my job around 8 o'clock. After cleanup, I'd get home around 8:30 or 9. I would study till like 1 in the morning, and then I would go back to school at 7:30 for my calculus classes and everything else. And I did that for 3 years to go to school. And it was this awesome combination of very, very intellectual, like structure of tannins, which I don't know if you ever need that, but just this focus on the academia of wine. And then the afternoons and evenings were just the hedonistic side of wine, where it's like tasting wine and understanding wine and getting exposed to wines of the entire world. And at the same time, learning how to sell that wine to people, to have the ability to see a customer come in and they say, I would like Chardonnay that tastes like XYZ. And it might be a Chardonnay that I despise stylistically, but I could go to the shelf and I go, this is what you want. This is the wine you want, because I knew not only the wines that I liked, but I knew the wines of the world. And that was a great combination. I don't think I would be the same winemaker if I only did half of that side, if I was only the wine buyer or only the academic. It was really the combination of two. Those 3 years really defined how I see life, how I think about wine. The knowledge that I gained was incredible. The Balletto style over the years has really solidified. It's a style that has this really intense spice aroma on top. It's with a core of fruit underneath. And for me, that sort of style where it's bright and fresh and pretty lends itself to a huge variety of foods. And I've always said, and I truly believe this, drink what you like and like what you drink. And nobody can make a rule that says this wine goes with this and that wine doesn't go with this. If you like the wine, drink it. There is no right answer. There's no wrong answer. I always think of wine as binary. You know, it's yes or no. Would I have another glass? And if I say yes to that, then that's a great wine. I think if I wasn't making wine, I would be something involved with food or making food. The only problem is restaurant hours are terrible, right? It's really hard to do that. But I would find something to be involved with food or wine pairing. I don't think I could ever really truly leave it. I think it's in some ways a good way, in some ways a bad way, but it's an addiction and it's an obsession, and I can't really see myself doing anything else. Passion for Pinot is really the great example of a time when you can put your wine out to the world to have people taste it. I have this really dislike of the Emily Dickinson style of the world where you would make something and then hoard it to yourself and not share it. I believe that art, and especially food and wine that's done as art, needs to be shared to be appreciated. And if you're not at something like Passion for Pinot and hiding in a corner, it doesn't do any good. Wine is meant to be shared. Wine is meant to be enjoyed together with people. It's a great thing that brings people together, and that is all part of making it, is getting out there to show it off.